Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. Happy Talkie Tuesday. My name is Dori Patrick. I am a mixed media artist and maker living and working in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my studio. Welcome if you are new here. I try to check in once a week and just share little bits of my creative life. And it's been a little chaotic around here lately, but I have some fun things to review with you and some fun things to look forward to. So thanks for being here. Um, let's see where to start. I think you all know that I want to tell you a little bit about my trip to Mexico that I took at the very end of February. I came home on the 1st of March, so not that long ago, but um, it was a kind of a group. I guess you could call it a tour group kind of organized trip. And it was our fearless leader was Lori Siebert. I know many of you know her and love her. She is fabulous. She's a fabulous mixed media artist and illustrator. And she gathered a bunch of ladies for a long weekend in Mexico City. And when I saw that it was Lori and that it was Mexico City, I knew I had to go. I have only been to Mexico one other time. I was in Oaxaca about 10 years ago for kind of a similar thing. I'm sorry, you guys, my nose is itching like crazy. Ugh. Spring is here. um, yeah, so I was in Oaxaca about 10 years ago, and that was kind of a similar kind of an artist maker tour group kind of thing, and I was there for Dia de los Muertos, which was absolutely stunning and beautiful. And on that trip 10 years ago, I really fell in love with Mexico. I am drawn. It's probably not going to surprise you because you all have seen my work. I'm really drawn to the art and the folk art of Mexico, their textiles, their pottery. Um, I just love everything, everything there. The food is so good, but the artwork really speaks to me, and I think I have a tendency to sort of channel some of that into my art. Um, I just love their fearless approach to color, and the imagery is really speaks to me in a lot of the folk art that they do. um, anyway, so fast forward 10 years, and I took this little trip to Mexico City, and it was amazing. And kind of as I talk, I think I'll pop up some photos from my trip so that you can kind of see some of the beautiful imagery that we saw when we were there. We were pretty much on the go like the whole time. It was so I was there Wednesday through Sunday. So I really had like 4 days to really take in some of the sites there. And the big draw for me was seeing Frida Kahlo's homes. So we got to see Casa Roja and Casa Azul. Um, and it was as wonderful as you can imagine. It was really wonderful to see her workspace and her home. And I learned a lot more about her family life through the tour that we took through Casa Roja. So Casa Roja, we went through that first, and that is the Kahlo home in their later years. And It's where the Cowell family moved to when Frida and Diego got married and took Casa Azul as their home. So Casa Azul is where Frida was born and where she grew up. And of course, the family was there for many years. But when Frida and Diego got married, they purchased Casa Roja, the red house, for her family so they could stay in Casa Azul. Anyway, it was very interesting. Just there were original letters um, of the family members back and forth. It was so cool to see just the very intimate spaces of the family. Their kitchen was really interesting. Um, the pottery that they used on a daily basis in their dining room, as well as all the little collections that they kept, was really, really cool. So that was definitely, that did not disappoint. That was really the main reason I wanted to go on this trip is that has been a bucket list item for me for a long time. So seeing Frida's homes was right up there. We also toured a few museums. All of the names are escaping my brain at the moment. I know I have them written down, but you can always Google stuff all over the place, all over Mexico City to find all these things. There, the other favorite thing I would say that we did was some of us went to the Museum of Popular Art. Um, we were kind of referring to it as the Folk Art Museum. It technically really isn't the Folk Art Museum, but it had a lot of beautiful Mexican folk art, and it was so inspiring. I mean, Mama Jamma inspiration. Um, even when I think back on it, I'm kind of at a loss for words. There's so much imagery coming at you. Carvings, basketry, textiles, clothing, costumes, you name it. I mean, it just was this bounty of just fabulous, fabulous art. And of course, all the color, all the texture that I love. So, and this was a group of ladies who either are artists as a profession or who love playing in art as a hobby or as a a pastime. So we all were just like moths to the flame, just like it was just a bonanza. And yeah, so we were all just snapping photos, snapping photos. We didn't want to forget anything. And I have already been referring back to those photos and writing down ideas of inspiration for future projects and future paintings. One of my favorite things in that place was this gigantic paper sculpture that it hung in a stairwell. It was really easy to miss it because you kind of had to go around the corner and go out through this door that really looked kind of like an exit. So you could have missed it if you didn't go around that corner. But he was about 10 feet tall. He was a paper sculpture and he was this, I'll pop a picture on here. He was like this giant man just with a tiny head. And the best I can guess is that he was paper mache, but he was like colorful. He was covered in polka dots. And he really, I loved him so much. And I really want to make a giant flying man. As many of you recall, I had a show last year called Feels Like Flying, and I did the flying people out of paper and plaster. And it's kind of got me thinking I want to do a big flying dude. And I'd love to hang him up here in the studio. It'd be so fun. Anyway, that was super, super fun. I made lots of new, wonderful friends. There were some folks who I kind of knew online already and got to really meet them in person. And love them as much as I knew that I would. Another highlight was we went to this little store slash workshop called Redonda. I think that's what it was called. And Melissa was our hostess, and she talked about a few different kinds of traditional Mexican handicrafts. And so she talked about them and described the process and inspiration. And then we all got to pick what we wanted to try. And some of us did a woven textile, like a punch needle textile. One of the gals painted a little ceramic pot with a lid. And then the rest of us painted wooden masks. And I cannot remember what the name of those is in Espanol, but that's okay. I wanted to show him to you. So sit tight. I'm gonna go grab him and I'll show you. Hang on. Okay, we're back. Okay, so yeah, there were three of us, three or four of us that decided to paint the wooden masks. And I did, so these are carved wooden masks, and we were allowed to paint them with acrylic paints. And my little guy is not done yet, but I'm hoping he's on my to-do list to get finished up this week because I want to decorate him and give him a clear coat so he's shiny. But I chose a wolf because of my love of my dogs, and I thought this was the best choice for me. So here he is. Isn't that great? Look at his big teeth. Here, I'll get a little closer. Here he is. So I've got some details done on this side. He's got like a funky little stripe down the middle, but there's a lot more decorating I want to do with him. Some more patterns, and then I want to get my Posca pens out and add a lot of little details to him. But isn't he great? And I haven't named him yet. He's gonna need a name for sure. And I think he's going to hang out here in my studio with me. Maybe he'll be my little mascot, but we had so much fun. The time flew by. I think we only had like an hour and a half there, and the time flew by. So there was no getting this done, but I was so glad that I chose him and brought him home. Isn't he great? I think he'll be really good at keeping the heebie-jeebies away, keeping the bad spirits away. Anyway, so on top of that, we had some wonderful meals. Oh my gosh, the food is so good in Mexico City. I mean, so good. There wasn't a bad meal to be had there. It was all wonderful. So, um, lots of walking, lots of talking, lots of eating. And it was a blast. And I'm so glad that I did it. I did not sleep very well while I was there. It was really just, how you just don't have your comforts of home, and it's just I sometimes just don't sleep very well when I travel. So I came home exhausted. I still am exhausted, you guys. um, this daylight savings time thing is like, ugh, it's all right. It's killing me already. But anyway, so I got home on Sunday, and um, really, I laid around on Monday. I was so tired. I kind of just napped off and on on Monday and just got my laundry done and, all the stuff you do when you get back from the trip. But, um, and then I spent the rest of that week, last week, getting ready for my meet and greet, which was on Friday. So, Friday, March 6th, we kind of officially kicked off my show that is currently happening downstairs in the Lit Owl Gallery. It's the first floor hallway of here at the academy. And Friday the 6th was my meet and greet. So, and hubby found himself double booked that night. He had another show he had to do. So, I had a couple girlfriends up here in my studio, Gay and Melissa, hello guys, helped just keep an eye on things because I knew people were excited to see the studio. I could not have the studio closed up. There would have been a riot probably. So I was downstairs on the first floor, greeting friends and family, and it was such a fun night. We had lots of wonderful people come out and check out the paintings. The show is called We Belong to One Another, and it's all figurative work, mostly heads and faces, kind of abstract heads and faces. And I got just a wonderful vibes from everybody. Everybody was just so kind and really loved everything that was there. And after they talked to me, I sent them upstairs to the studio to see Melissa and Gay. And we had little beverages and little treats up here in the studio. And one of the things, I don't think you can see the very top message here, but I wrote, "Welcome to my studio, leave me a message," here on my whiteboard. And so I have all these wonderful messages from my friends who came through the studio that night. And it just makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. They were all just tickled and thrilled to see this space, and they know I've been working hard to get it to where it is. So it was just it was really cool to share that with everybody. So that was Friday. Yeah, and then I mean, I was tired. I was tired, and then daylight savings time, you lose an hour, spring forward, lose an hour, blah blah blah. Anyway, I'm trying to get caught back up with my rest and my so I can get back to making stuff. But so that's the latest. And as I said, I'm gonna pop some photos into this video. But you can also go back into my socials. I tried to share a lot of photos and little video snippets on Facebook and Instagram, so you can see some of the specific things um, from the trip and also from the open house. So, Friday, March 6th was sort of that milestone date for me. I knew I had the trip, and then I had the work done before I left on the trip because it needed to be delivered so it could be hung. So I knew I was just kind of working to March 6th, to have that open house. And so now I'm on the other side of it. And I mean, I'm still just buzzing from all that love and activity. But now it's time to look forward and see what possibly might be on the horizon for my show season and also a few little teaching gigs. One of the things, a lot of you already know this, but my Fodder School 5 lesson dropped this month. So this is the early part of the month, so we are making the fodder. So all the lessons for making the materials for the project are now. And then in the middle of the month, I think they usually drop it like the 15th or 16th. Then my project will drop. And as you know, it's the split heads. You've probably been seeing it like all over the place. I have been just getting a wonderful response to that project, and I just can't keep up. I'm trying to make sure everybody knows that I see their work and I appreciate it. But if you are participating in Fodder School 5, thank you so much. It is such a fun community. You guys you're so kind and encouraging to one another, and I love that. And I love that you're digging the project. I'm really happy, really tickled about that. So I've been busy. I just like came home, had that open house, and I've been busy just kind of supporting students on Fodder School 5. And I'm now just kind of easing into my everyday work schedule again. So I've got a few little personal projects that I'm finishing up. I've got something for a friend I need to seal up and mail out. I have actually, maybe I'll turn the camera around and show you what I'm up to. This is a piece that I'm remaking for my home. Okay, so here's another thing. At home, so that's where my studio was before I came here. It was our old family room. It had old, yucky, ugly linoleum floors, which were fine for an art studio because I didn't feel like I had to be careful. I just slopped the paint and whatever. Well, now we're turning it back into a family room, and we have known we've wanted to replace that floor for a long time. But now is the time to do it because the room is as empty as it's ever going to be. So our home is now in upheaval because I am going to paint those walls. So they were white for my studio purposes, but now we're going to go into a fun green with the white trim. I'm bringing that green into our front room, which we have built-in bookcases. Those bookcases are going to be it's kind of a grass slash pool green. It's not a turquoise, but it's a green with a tinge of blue, if that makes sense. And when I get it done, I'll share it with you. But so the house is in complete disarray. We have everything pulled to the center of that room so I can paint it. And I'm hoping to get started on that tonight or tomorrow morning. So yeah, there's a lot happening. So with that, a lot of the artwork and the stuff in the house has just been stirred up, which I kind of like now and again. It kind of gives your space a new energy. It kind of, I don't know, it's like whisking away the cobwebs, and even just moving a painting to a different wall just gives you a different feeling in the room. And I really like that now and again. And I think we were overdue. So one of the projects that I'm working on is for our hallway going upstairs. Because in addition to that, we also got a new bed. And we live in an old English Tudor style house with a kind of a staircase you go up several steps and then you turn to the right and So to get the bed up those steps and into our bedroom, we had to clear everything out of the hallway, all the pictures hanging on the walls because they would have gotten knocked over. So that's getting all redone too. It's like, it's never ending. But I'm going to turn this camera around and I'll show you what I'm working on for that hallway. Hold on. All right, there it is. I've turned the camera around. So this was kind of behind the camera just a second ago. And here is what I'm working on. It's a big sunshine. And originally, you can kind of see it through the gesso. It had a yellow and orange kind of a spiral pattern. And gosh, it's been like this for many, many years. I used to make these and sell them. I had a wood guy that cut these out, and this was one that I saved for myself. So I am going to I like the rays the way they are, but I might just touch them up a little, give them a little fresh coat of acrylic. But in the center, I am going to do a face because I love a sunshine face, and it's going to be a smiling face. And I think I want to give the funny sun face some teeth. So stay tuned for that. But that's going to be go back up in the same spot that it was. I just am giving it a refresher. So that's what I'm working on now. I'm also on my work table is this sketchbook, which you guys, I am near the end. Look at this chunker.
I am near the end. Oh gosh, I think I have like 2 more spreads to do, but it started splitting here in the front, and so I have heavy gel medium that I have reinforced the spine with. So I'm leaving it here to dry so it can um, get reinforced. But that's another thing I'm working on. I have like 2 more pages before this baby is full, and I want to do a sketchbook tour of this eventually. This is a really cheap, kind of crinkly sketchbook, and it's taken me a long time to get through it. Um, so yeah, just, lots of little projects. So here, back over here, that's where I'm sitting. That's where I was sitting when I was talking to you. And I'll go back over there and we will sign off because I think this video is getting long.
Woo! I just noticed, Lord, I'm like turning red. It's pretty warm up here. This week it's like in the 70s, which I love, but we haven't yet got the air going in my new space, and so that is going to be priority number one, is figuring out the whole air conditioning scenario, because I want to be able to host people up here and be comfortable. But I just noticed like my neck's all red. It's like warm. It's warm up here. Anyway, this was kind of a chatty video. Sorry about that. It's kind of all I could manage this week with coming down off of all that other stuff that was happening. But I do have some more journal with me videos, junk journal with me videos coming up. I also am going to work on a tour of the show that I have downstairs, and I also want to give you an official studio tour. I think I want to get my hubby's help with that so that I can have free hands to talk with my hands, and show you things and whatnot. But to everyone who came to the opening on Friday night, thank you so much. It really means the world to me. I realize that we all have very busy lives, and it's hard to squeeze things like that in, but I can't tell you, it matters. Like when you show up, it really matters, and it really means a lot to us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to that hubby of mine for moving me up here. It was many, many trips up those steps because we don't have an elevator yet. Please send donations to Eastern Iowa Arts Academy. We are getting close to raising the funds for an elevator. So then the next poor soul that moves a studio up here, they can use the elevator. Right? Oh my gosh. You all, thank you so much. Have a great rest of the week, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.